We're here at the distribution center for Sweetwater. We're going to go in and meet Frank. It's kind of brisk, but you'll notice it's not snowing. Day 3 in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and it is not a snowstorm. Victory. Frank.
Warren, great to meet you.
Good to be met.
Yes, yes. Ready for a fun tour of the guitar gallery and all things that happen in our DC?
I like the idea of the guitar gallery.
Yes.
Let's just go there for an hour.
All right, let's do that.
We already had breakfast. We should have come here earlier and just.
Yeah, you could have breakfast.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through these. You're probably going to buzz, and that's okay. Oh, look at that. We're good.
Oh, those cameras.
Yes. So we'll stop here for a quick second because this is still part of the guitar conversation. So this is our distribution center. It's just over
massive.
Yeah, it's about over 500,000 square feet.
Wow.
So the whole building is temperature controlled, humidity controlled. So, you know, it's cold outside, but it's not cold inside. And the whole idea behind that is the building is designed to not only help us ship product in and out, but it's also designed to store and hold our instruments. And the instruments need to be held.
I've got to say, everybody, you saw me laugh because there was a guy there doing a crazy dance but I think it was off camera. So you're going to think, why was that guy laughing when Frank was talking?
That's our team. Bunch of crazy musicians. So what I want to point out here is racks 1, 2, 3, all the way over. These are all guitars that we have available for sale on our website.
Right.
And
I see a lot of Gibsons.
Lot of everything.
Yeah.
You know,
EVH,
Gibson, Fender,
nice,
PRS, all the major brands, and a lot of the unique brands too.
Amazing.
So we'll walk this way. Yep, Breedlove, Cordoba, Martin.
But the question everybody wants to know: who puts the candy in there?
You will meet the people that do that. So, if you guys want to stop here, kind of really take it in to think about how many guitars this truly is.
That's insane. I'm going to do a.
This is a great selfie shot.
It is a great selfie shot. I don't know how to get this wider. Eric, would you do me a favor and take a photo where I look dwarfed by the amount of. Indiana Jones.
Yeah, right. We should get the lights to go on in order like the movie.
Yeah, right.
Yep. Yeah, so one of the unique things that we do is we sell guitars by serial number. And so you'll see our teammate up there, he's putting guitars in a rack. And each one of these racks has a label, so we know where that serial number is. So as a customer, you go, I love serial number 1, 2, 3. It's got the right weight or the right top. We go and sell that customer that one guitar.
Oh, wow.
And we'll explain how that process works in our guitar gallery.
Amazing. Oh, nice. Les Paul, Heritage, Cherry Sumter.
Yep.
Just put that one in my back pocket.
Nobody will miss it.
Nobody will miss it.
Yeah. So we'll walk over this way. We're going to carve in underneath this area. So this is our small goods where we pick and ship some of the smaller instruments or products.
So a lot of automation, not a lot of people carrying boxes.
Well, there is enough people doing that work, but once we pick the product, it is automated, and it's really to make things super efficient. What's funny is when we moved into this building, we added a lot of automation, but we didn't lower our head count because we still need people to find the right products.
Yeah.
So we'll keep going this way. So as we're walking by here, this is where all the small product lives. Just like the guitars have a location, when a customer buys a set of pickups, we know exactly where those pickups live, and our team is able to come get those for the customer.
Can I have permission?
Yes, you can. Come on through.
I can have permission. Okay. It said to stop. I have to ask.
Yes.
You know.
Well, the operation is so big, and we have so many machines. We do want to put the safety in places.
Right. No, I understand. I don't want to be run over by a truck.
Yes. You don't want to be run over.
Not on a Friday.
Nope. So this is where we ship the guitars. We'll talk about this at the very end. We're sort of walking by the back side of the operation, and we'll come back and talk about some of these stations.
This is great. You get to work out every day.
Oh, we get our steps in.
Yeah.
20,000, 24,000 steps in.
Nice.
Yeah.
James, that's good for you, mate. Yeah.
All right, so this is the front end of our guitar gallery. We'll kind of stop up here in the middle.
Pretty vast.
All right, so we'll stop here. Let me actually grab a couple props. Excuse me. So this is one of the inspection cards that goes with all of these guitars, and we'll use this in the conversation. So what we have behind us back here are all guitars that need to go through inspection.
Okay.
So we prioritize our guitars by a couple different buckets.
Yeah.
Customer orders. So let's say it's a brand new guitar that was just received, but we have a customer order ready for it. That guitar gets a priority and gets moved to the front of the line.
Okay.
And then we also make sure after that bucket is filled, we make sure anything that doesn't have a representation on the website gets filled. And then the third bucket is everything else.
Okay.
So the first step of this process is the unbox station. So here at the unbox station, what we have is a team of handlers, and this is the first job everybody does in Guitar Gallery. And what it is they're unboxing the guitar, but in there it starts the first part of the inspection, this first box up here.
Yep.
And what they're looking for is the serial number correct? Is the guitar color correct? Did it come with all the right case candy? Before we do any work on it, let's make sure it's what it's supposed to be.
Right.
And if it's not, we stop and we either fix it in our system or send it back to the manufacturer, order the parts to make sure it has everything that it needs.
Right.
And so the team here on any given day will break out about 120 to 150 guitars per person through this process. Right now we have about just over 110 employees doing this job on 2 shifts. So we start at 6 a.m. to 2:30, that's our first shift, and then 2:30 to 11 p.m. is our second shift. So a lot of guitar players doing.
So 110 people doing 120 guitars.
Well, 110 people in a given day we do just over 1,000 guitars.
Right.
Yeah. But in this job they'll do about 100, 120, 150 guitars depending on what guitars we get.
Right.
So that box right there is much easier than something with a bunch of staples.
Oh yes.
Right. So we handle it all. So the other thing I want to point out to you before we even get going is we have 3 distinctive lanes of operation, and we'll talk about what that looks like as we get closer. And this is our ability to, if it's really busy, we can hire more people and do the job. If it's not so busy,
seasonally and like November, December, it gets
we get pretty busy. We're actually still living in the craziness over the holidays.
Really?
Holidays was really, really good for the guitar business. So.
And then do you get the New Year's resolutions?
Yeah, but it's funny the way guitar players work. There's not a lot of those.
guitar player.
There's not a lot of those, right?
Yeah.
You know, and even when they, aren't happy with what they got, they're buying something else because it's the wrong color, it's the wrong feel. You know, well, you're a guitar player, so you probably have more than one, probably have more than 10. You know?
Yeah, I have a lot of guitars.
Yeah. As do I, as do most of us here that are guitar players.
Yep.
So we'll keep going down this line here. So as we're breaking out the guitars, one of the things that we do here is we make sure we're inspecting the instrument, we're putting it all back together, but that box that the guitar comes in actually goes on this cart in slot number 1.
Yeah.
The guitar also goes in slot number 1, so the guitar and box travel together.
Oh, I see.
So there isn't the chance of, oh, I put it in the wrong box. You know, I got the certificate of authenticity for serial number 1, 2, 3, but I bought 3, 4, 5. You want to make sure all the right stuff goes with that instrument. So that allows us to check the serial number all the way through, because as we showed you walking in, we sell by serial number. That serial number is really important. You as the customer will decide to buy that serial number.
Right.
So we'll keep going down this way.
I don't know what this is, but that is absolutely gorgeous. Sorry. This little one. What model is it?
It is an LG2.
Never seen this before. This would be great for my kids. I'm going to be very careful. It's gorgeous. Isn't that beautiful? Have you have kids?
I do.
Yeah.
So my son doesn't play, but my daughter plays.
The same with my son. He's not interested.
She's 14. He's 12.
LG2.
LG2.
Absolutely gorgeous little guitar.
Yep. Made in Montana.
Yeah.
Yep. So as we're walking through, these guitars have all been unboxed and are ready to be inspected. And you'll look to the left or to the right and you'll see the benches that we have 2 separate types of benches.
Yeah.
You'll see over here, this is what we call an inspection bench.
Yeah.
And then on this side is what we call a support tech bench. And I'll explain what the 2 differences are in just a minute.
How's it going?
So these guitars are ready to be inspected.
Yep.
And our team literally handles guitars next in line. So we don't have a acoustic specialist or a Floyd Rose specialist. You got to be a specialist at all of it.
Great.
So you can't really pick your favorites. By luck of the draw, you're going to play a lot of great guitars during the day.
Sure. I don't know what these are, but these look great.
Yeah, those are the Adam Jones Les Pauls, the Epiphone version.
Gorgeous.
These are the limited run with the very cool, unique artwork on the back.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love this silver set to the sunburst. It's gorgeous.
Hold on, get a shot of that.
Yeah.
Get a shot of the back.
Yeah.
Get closer on that.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. Yeah. But I love that I love the color as well. The silver sunburst.
Yeah, very cool.
Very cool.
So we'll come over here and let me show you what the inspection looks like. So Eli here is inspecting this guitar, and one unique thing that we have going on here is we have this inspection screen. And so we built this in-house, and what it does, it allows the inspector to inspect this specific item ID with the right parameters. So as Eli scans in, it loads in all the information he needs to know about this instrument, so he doesn't have to go by memory. He doesn't have to guess. So he knows the scale length, he knows the pickups, he knows everything the manufacturer said it's supposed to be. He also knows the order of operation to make this guitar play at its best in the gallery. So we know what the tuning is, we know what the pickup selector is, if there's a kill switch, if there's a toggle, if there's anything special, he knows how to look for it and check it.
It's got current evaluation time.
Yes. So
Eli, what's your time limit?
You want aim roughly about 10 minutes per guitar,
10 minutes per guitar.
so you can hit 6 an hour.
Great.
And you'll see over to the right that he's got his history of the last 5 instruments. He's got one at 12, one at 4, one at 3, one at 7, one at 8. Some instruments are harder to work on than others. So that 10 is kind of that average number and he's doing great, as you can see.
And some probably just come in really well set up and just say, hey.
Yeah, but it's not just the playability we're looking at. We're looking at the cosmetics. We're looking at the construction.
Sure.
We want to make sure whatever the customer sees on the website is what they were dreaming of with that guitar.
Absolutely.
You'll also see that we have a target neck relief and a string height. Now, we don't do setups, but we do want to make sure that the guitar is playable. Because the setup is, you might like high action, I might like low action. The setup is very personal.
Sure.
This is the middle of the road. We know this guitar plays great, and we partner with our manufacturers to go, what's the happy medium point for this instrument?
Sure, I understand.
We also even tell him what tools he's going to need to adjust that instrument so he doesn't have to guess, making this a really smooth, fast operation. And you can see he is making sure the intonation is spot on for this instrument.
This just picked up a bit. Yep, we're good.
So Paul Reed Smith. Oh yeah, nice. Great.
Yeah, so as he's doing all that, he is inspecting the core of this 55-point inspection. So he's checking the string, the nut height. You're seeing him make sure the playability feels and is what it's supposed to be. Eli, can I throw you off and ask you to hit the lights? Also,
Oh, wrong one. It don't work.
also, as he's inspecting it, we have two separate lights. So we make sure we look at the guitar under two lights. A really bright doctor's office and a really soft home office. And the idea there is we don't know what the customer has at home.
Right.
If there's a little scratch or if there's a buffing swirl that we can take care of here, that customer gets closer to what they're dreaming of on that instrument.
Absolutely.
And so that light lets them do that. And the really cool thing about it, I think you saw it. If you look back with the button that he stepped on, it's actually a guitar pedal. So we wired that in-house. So one half controls the speaker, the other half controls the lights.
Nice.
Yeah. So when he is done here, he's going to sign off on the guitar, put it back on the cart, and move on to the next guitar.
Right.
If when he is done, he's not able to take care of the instrument for whatever reason, he's going to check off here that it requires service.
Okay.
And I'm going to explain what the other bench is. So if we walk over this way, we're going to come over.
Eli.
We're going to come over here to Arthur.
Hey, Arthur.
Yes.
Good to meet you.
I follow you on YouTube.
Thank you. Thank you.
Enjoy your stuff.
Thanks. Telecaster.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So tell us what you do here as a support tech.
So the stuff that gets hung up is because there's something wrong with it, and I will try to either fix it, or I will send it back, or we'll make it a demo. Or if it's going to take me too long, we'll send it to our guitar shop.
Okay.
See super in-depth stuff.
What kind of problems are you
Like this
using?
one, this one had some buttons to open notes, so I filed the nut.
Yep.
Just to get the little burrs out. If it's got some deep scratches, I can wet sand it.
Right.
About that. If it's a simple electronic issue, it's probably just a matter of simply flowing some solder.
Right.
Just stuff like that.
Great.
Yeah, if you look at his bench, you'll see he's got nut files, he's got soldering iron, he's got lacquer pens and different sandpaper. And the whole idea here is if he could save the guitar in about 15 minutes and get it back, we want to do that as opposed to send it back to the manufacturer.
Sure. Yeah.
And so he'll work on a guitar for about 15 minutes. So how many guitars do you do in a day? 20, 25-ish?
It
depends on the
severity of each problem, but yeah, roughly that.
Yeah.
Right.
And the other great thing about this is when he's working on the guitar, in our system, he writes what we call a service order. And we collect all that data. And at the end of the month, we go to the manufacturer and go, here's a list of all the guitars, the serial numbers. So now they could go back to their factory and go, oh, did we have a machine that was off? Did we have a plant that might need some reevaluation? So it's a great 360 relationship with our vendors. And they really appreciate that we're doing that. We're not just sending the guitar out into the world.
Right.
You
Makes
know,
sense.
little mom and pop shops do it all the time, but sometimes they can't report the information back to the vendor. We're a bigger operation, and we're able to go 1,000 guitars through a day. There's a lot of data to be had for those manufacturers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks, Arthur.
Nice meeting you.
Good to meet you too. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. You too.
Arthur just celebrated his 5-year anniversary too.
Been here for 5 years.
Yep.
End of September.
Excellent.
Got a nice clock.
Yes.
You got a clock?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's a fancy clock. Yeah.
Is it a guitar clock?
I wish.
Ah,
We'll work on that.
good to meet you.
So we'll come back over here. And we'll stop here, and you can see on to the left and to the right, we actually have buffing rooms, and that's to make sure we can take care of the finish. The other part that we can take a peek at is we have every one of our jobs has kind of a scorecard, and we just let everybody know on the team where they're at. That keeps that team morale going of who's doing what and where they're at as far as the pace of the entire team.
Right.
So it's a great morale booster. So from here, the guitar passes the inspection and comes into this line. And you'll notice that all these guitars, all the tuners are facing one direction.
Sure.
So we tune them and make sure it plays, and then we untune them so they look really good in pictures.
Oh, I see.
Right? So we call this photo tuning.
Photo tuning.
Photo tuning. We tune it for the photo.
That's nice.
Yep. So we'll come back over here and we'll look at our photo booths. We got 3 of these photo booths going at most hours of the day. So this is a pretty interesting operation that we have. It's really kind of a dance. So you have a handler and a photographer that work as a team to get the photos done.
Right.
And each one of these studios photographs anywhere from 35, sometimes 40 guitars an hour. And when we say that, you got to think about it's not just 40 guitars. Each one of those guitars gets 7 to 12 individual images photographed for each serial number. And the whole idea there is we can't put the the guitar in the customer's hand, but we could give them as close a representation as seeing everything about the instrument.
That's incredible.
Any guitar over $299 goes through this
I don't think I
process.
knew that. I really thought about that when I went online and looked at guitars.
Right.
I'm actually looking at the guitar.
You're looking at the guitar, so you're getting to say,
pretty
I
huge.
like that grain pattern. I like the hue on that. You know, there, especially a hand shot finish. Sometimes there's more burst or less burst.
No, that's great.
So Jacob over here, he scans the guitar in with that. That's connected to a software with the camera. So as the photographer is taking the pictures, that serial number is locked into that photo process.
Sorry.
And so as Jacob is pulling the next guitar out, the photographer is they're working on the images, and all the photographer is going to do is really crop the image. We don't do any Photoshop or color correction. It's all the light that we have, and all we do is make sure the sizing of the guitar is ready to go. And so as they're done with that guitar, it's ready to go on the website. We don't have to process anymore.
I do like that finish on that guitar.
Yeah.
Very nice. With a 70s headstock Strat there?
Yeah, the big headstock.
Yeah.
And so you'll notice the second room looks just like the first.
Yep.
It allows us to be really efficient in what we do.
I never knew that. That's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Yeah.
You think about how many guitars go through that process. And then once it's done with that process, we come over here to our tune and polish area.
Yep.
And so what this team is doing, if we go back to the card, they're finishing up the end of the inspection. And they're making sure once it comes out of photo, we wipe down any fingerprints or any dust that may have landed on the instrument. We also make sure that the guitar is in tune, and we lock in all the information into our computer system. So one of the last things that is locked in is you'll notice that it's sitting on that stand, but it's actually a scale. So we weigh the instrument. So that serial number, we have the images on the website, and that specific serial number's weight we capture for the website. So as a guitar player, you could go, I want the 8.5-pound Les Paul, if you could find it, or the 12-pound Les Paul, because I love the old 70s heavy stuff. So you as a customer gets to choose that. And it's funny. That's a really important thing for us as guitar players. So,
I know. I'm actually very impressed. I just assumed it was all generic information.
It is not. It is down to the serial number on every one of these instruments. And they're also going to play test every instrument all the way through. We do something called the shake test. We just shake it. The idea there is if there's a cold solder joint, we want to break it here so we can fix it. So when the customer gets it, it's ready, right? And we have the same lights in these stations. They go through the same lights. And then once it's done, it goes back over to this area. So this is our rebox station.
Yeah.
And what it sounds like is what it is. We rebox the guitar in the same box that came from the manufacturer, but we do a couple extra things. We'll make sure it has a fresh polyfoam bag in case we tore it because they taped it up at the manufacturing. We'll also add air bubbles. We'll make sure that guitar doesn't move. We know most of our guitars are going to be shipped out to customers, so we want to make sure we do everything we can so it can handle the trip to wherever it's going. You know, the guitar could go down to lower Indiana or Miami or California. That's a big difference. And so that's what this team does, is they rebox it. And at the very end of it, we tape it up with normal tape and we add our guitar gallery tape so our customers know it went through the guitar gallery process. They also get this card minus this page in there, and the techs that worked on it sign off on both sides so they know who helped this guitar make its way.
It's great. It's really fantastic.
And then from there, they go onto one of these pallets, ready to go onto our shelves. So this is
where we came in, those are all finished guitars, that side. They're
a
all
lot of them,
completely
most of them.
Yeah.
We might have overflow on that shelf.
Okay.
That we store them there till we need to inspect them.
Okay.
We want to make sure that no guitar sits on the shelf for longer than 6 months before actually inspecting them, because guitars move. Even in a humidity-controlled environment, they can move, and we want to make sure when the customer gets it, we've made sure it's playable.
Right.
So let me show you a couple other things that happen. I'm going to toss this guy.
You want to keep out of that in case you want to photo it? Thank you.
So this is where we not rebox, this is where we box up guitars to be shipped. So each one of these guitars, you'll notice, has our tape here.
Yeah.
And it's went through the inspection process. And so this guitar is going to get shipped out to a customer, but we don't ship it in the manufacturer's box.
Okay.
You'll notice we have all these boxes over here to the side, and you'll see up there we have the box. So what we're doing is we build the box. We have a machine that we feed out this plastic bag. In that plastic bag is a liquid, and that liquid, in about 90 seconds, gets hardened. And so you put the guitar on top of that liquid. That liquid forms around the box and covers all four sides of the box. And now that guitar is shipped in a very safe environment where it can resist a lot of impact. And so you'll notice he's pushing it down, making sure it makes contact. Going to add a couple more bags just to fill up the void. And now this guitar in that box is able to be shipped and survive a lot of travel. We don't know what happens out in the field, so we want to make sure it's safe.
Right. Yeah, I actually do. Yeah, that'd be good. Can you see that, Eric? How it works?
It's going to be warm. I'll warn you up front.
Oh wow!
And
yeah, it's hot.
You can just hold on to it and it'll
expands.
harden up eventually.
I like doing this.
Yeah. That is hot. Oh yeah.
But now it's forming.
Just forms around the guitar and holds it very secure.
Wow. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, like I said, in about 90 seconds, it'll be pretty much where it's going to be.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Less than that.
Less than that.
Yeah, look at that. It just started off as a bag, and now it's this. That's nuts. Thanks.
So the most important thing is Sean up there, who's doing that.
Yep.
Is also putting the bag, but he's also going to put all our Sweetwater information in there, the invoice information, and
Who does the candy?
he is also doing the candy. So this is the candy that goes in the box.
Yeah, there's always the joke. There's just the one person at the end of the line putting the candy in.
Yep. Well, that's Sean. He does more than just the candy.
I know.
But we're able to do that.
Nice.
So that happens for everything that gets boxed up here at Sweetwater.
Amazing.
Now, what it doesn't happen for is sometimes customer buy an amp where we just ship it in that amp box.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to open the customer's box, so we don't add it in there. But almost everything else does get the candy.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll walk over here, and I'll show you a couple other things.
That's why you stop and ask.
So
Get run over.
So this pallet here, these are guitars that are boxed up by our team, ready to go out to customers.
Yeah.
And one of the unique things that we do is we put this sticker on the box,
Yeah.
which just reminds customers that there's a guitar in here, and we want to make sure that the customer waits 24 hours before opening it.
Oh, that's never going to happen. I like the optimism.
But
The guitar arrives. Like,
but we
oh, no,
try.
I know.
We try, right? And you know, during extreme weather,
I mean, 24 seconds.
24 seconds.
Yeah.
Just we want to make sure the
I
guitar
know.
slowly heats up or cools down depending on the weather that's happening. So we'll hop over here.
I appreciate the optimism. That was good. No guitar player's we're not gonna order a guitar and then wait.
And then wait.
to open it up. Yeah, a day to wait it up.
So this is Blaine, and Blaine runs our,
Hey, Blaine.
our
Hi,
certified
Warren.
fit program.
Nice to meet you too. Yeah.
So since I'm mic'd, I'll walk through this. Sure. So the certified fit program is this program that we have where every guitar that we have available for sale gets certified fit against every case that we have available for sale. And the idea here is Blaine has a spreadsheet, he runs this operation, and he gets the guitar and the case, and we literally try and fit the guitar into every single case, and then we mark it that it fits or it doesn't fit. And we have a very specific criteria that the guitar has to fit within certain tolerance, not too much pressure, so it's safe for that instrument. And so then, as a customer, when you're buying a guitar, go ahead and pick a guitar. On the website at the very bottom, we'll show the customer what cases fit that instrument.
Right.
So they don't have to guess.
I see.
And we're not selling only the manufacturer's case or only the nicest case. We're selling every single case that is an option for that customer. So that customer can say, I like this brand case for that guitar, or I have this much money, I can buy that case for that guitar, but we know that it's going to fit. And they don't have to guess, especially with an odd-shaped instrument. Sometimes it's hit or miss.
Sure. Yeah. Jag or Jazz Master. Makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah, see, definitely a unique shape. It's also nice because we also get the added feature if someone wants like a TSA case or something to upgrade with, or something that just doesn't include in like a case or a gig bag. And that's going to be the first question that someone's going to ask us. What case can fit this?
Yeah, so we leave that handy for customers to see. Do you want to show the measurement shot? We also do this. We measure the insides of the case on every case so that customer, let's say we don't have the guitar, it's a 40-year-old guitar that's not made anymore, they can literally measure and go, wait, that should fit my instrument.
I see.
So, and this isn't data we get from a manufacturer. Blaine literally sits here with the tape measure and has a spreadsheet to fill all that out. So every case option has that.
Just like this case.
Which is good because it's like there's the wet and dry weight, isn't there, of everything. Somebody might say it's 1.5 inches, but actually, once the foam's settled, it's 1 inch and a.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
I
like that.
And so then, the last thing that sort of happens here, and it actually bleeds into another section, is when a customer buys that guitar in that case, they have the option to ship it in one box. So this is our our shipping case area. So we'll walk right over here. Thank you, Blaine.
Yep.
Thanks, Blaine.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
So looks like Sean just wrapped one up, but these are a guitar and a case.
Thank you very much. Good to meet you too.
So Sean literally has an order of operation of what's next, of what guitar is going to put in the case to box it up and have it shipped out together.
Nice.
So One of the benefits with that is we're only shipping out one box, so it's a little greener for the environment. The other benefit is we know a guitar is much safer in a case than it is in a box, right? So wherever that's going, it's probably a safer shipment for that customer, and it's a less hassle experience for that customer. We don't charge the customer any extra. This is not an added sell service. This is just us saying we're going to do the right thing. Customer bought the right case and the right guitar, and they want it together. We're going to make sure it goes together. So,
is that Eric's favorite guitar? Eric has a tattoo of an ESP on his arm.
There you go. Is it an 8-string?
No, it's not, but it's all because of Metallica, man.
Oh, there you go.
LTD.
Yep. That's animals as leaders right there. Yeah, Javier Rey is 8-string.
Nice.
Yep. So we'll move on, and I'll show you a couple other things that we do.
You know your guitars?
I know a few things about guitars.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can tell. A couple of things.
Lily, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
So this is Lily.
Hi, Lily.
Eric's not here, but Lily is our Gibson liaison.
Hi, Gibson liaison.
Yes.
I'm Warren.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So we have a Fender liaison and a Gibson liaison, and
Great.
part of what they do is some of the same work that we saw Arthur do, the higher level repairs. Well, Lily's highly trained, but she's also connected to the factory, has all the connections. So if there's a part that needs to get done or a special skill to save an instrument, instead of shipping the guitar back to Gibson, we have Lily go ahead and do the work.
That's great.
Recently, you were just at Montana, spending a couple days training with them.
Great.
So we have this added value with the Gibson or a Fender, and that's not just Gibson. It's Gibson, Epiphone, Kramer, all the brands. With Fender, it's all the brands. We have these two experts in those fields to help make sure that the instruments are right. And if there's something systemically wrong, they communicate back to the manufacturer that quicker. So it's a great resource to have.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
You as well.
And the last area we'll talk about here.
That's beautiful. So this finish. It's gorgeous.
It's a heritage.
Yeah.
Made in Michigan.
Yeah, I love it. I love the starkness of the red against it. Really gorgeous. It's almost got like a little bit of a green to it.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I think they call that color lemon burst, right?
They do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
So this area, and these folks here, this is our returns team.
Yeah.
So you mentioned when the customer, has a little bit of regret.
Yeah.
So this team goes through everything that gets shipped out of the DC that gets returned. They go through it to determine what has to happen with it. And when I say everything, it doesn't even have to be a return. Customer could have bought it, they weren't home, and FedEx shipped it back, right? Return to sender because they weren't home. We're still going to go re-inspect it and go through the entire process because we don't know what happened in the field. We want to make sure that the instrument is what it's supposed to be. If we determine that it's not what it's supposed to be, we might make it a demo guitar. Sometimes it's really beat up and we determine that's a used guitar now. We don't want to represent it as a new guitar any longer. And so this team handles all that, including guitars that are shipped back to us for repairs. So we have a guitar shop, which we'll take a quick peek back there, but we do all kinds of work on customers' guitars. They can be vintage guitars or 6-month, 1-year-old guitars that customers want to do some extra work. Install pickups, get a setup done. We do that here also.
Right. I don't know what that was. It was a gorgeous little guitar for a kid.
Yeah, that's one of
small
these
body.
guys.
I'm learning new things today. I've never seen
That's
it.
their Power Player Les Paul. They're actually really cool. And I got a couple
My
kids.
daughter's very musical. She's only 8. Yeah.
Yeah. And this wasn't
gorgeous.
around when I was a kid.
No. No, when we were kids. Well, I always talk about this stuff with any guitars I review now.
Yeah.
It's like $500 gets you something that when we were kids was like a car payment.
Oh, absolutely.
It was like buy a car or buy a guitar.
No, absolutely. A
Amazing.
$300 Squire from like
Phenomenal.
100 times better than what I started with.
Yeah.
Right? The quality control, the scaling up of being able to manufacture these guitars, great. The quality is night and day from 20, 30 years ago. And
Yamaha sent me this Revstar to try a few years ago, the first one.
Yeah.
And it was the Japanese one, and it was like $1,500, and I loved it. And then they sent me the newer model, and I assumed it was also the Japanese one. And I'm playing it on a live thing, and everybody said, what model is it? I flip it over, and I read out the model number, and everybody's like, that's $499 a Sweetwater.
Yeah.
And I'd just been assuming it was another $1,500 guitar.
Yeah. I think we're in a great world for guitar players where we could get them that guitar, and it's amazing.
Yeah. How much are these?
They're just over $200, I believe.
Oh,
yeah.
That's amazing.
And they stay in tune, and they play great, and you know, they fit a smaller frame.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a great world.
So that's the guitar gallery.
You can bring it in. We're actually talking about it, so it's okay. Perfect.
I just didn't want to interrupt.
No, you're good.
Actually, quite the reverse, because we were talking about this guitar. Gorgeous little thing for a beginner.
Absolutely.
So, do you mind? Can I hold it? I know you probably just cleaned it all up.
It's not tuned up or anything.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, that's great. You don't even have to be a beginner. I'd actually play this.
Yeah.
Especially for like around the house.
I mean, it's Eric's size. Yeah, exactly. Just have it around the house. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, let's move over to the guitar shop. We got a little time, and I want to show you that also.
Oh, you know I want to see it.
All right. Were there any questions I didn't get that I can answer for you?
A lot more detail than I was anticipating. So,
yeah,
you know, and information I didn't know. So,
yeah. Well, we could do a 3-hour tour of this and give you all kinds of information.
Oh, this is great.
So we'll meet up with the shop team. One of the things I like to kind of explain is everything we do in the guitar gallery, the certified fit, the shipping case, all of that stuff is all the added value service that we do for our customers. Now, when we go into the guitar shop, a lot of the service we do here is an upgraded sell to our customers.
Right.
So, might want to stop here, and I'll pass the mic over to Wade.
Yeah.
Wade, how are you?
Hey, good to meet you.
Good to be met.
I'm Wade. I run the guitar shop here. We do customer guitars, new guitar modifications, repairs, restorations. In this team, we've got 59 guitar techs on our team that modify and repair guitars all day. So where we're standing now is the Plek area. We've got 3 Plek machines back here in the back where we can run guitars through this process, and I'll give you a quick rundown of what it looks like. So in here, a little noisy. We've got guitars loaded in these funky looking machines where it's scanning the frets, meaning all the contact points of every string on every fret, and giving us an idea of what the shape of the fretboard and the tops of the frets look like. So the goal here is to minimize buzz on a guitar, have the lowest action possible with minimal buzz, which is usually a guitar player's dream. You know, the guitars are easier to play if the action is lower.
Absolutely.
Tone sounds better if it doesn't buzz. So this process is about a 45 minutes to complete it in the machine, and then another hour or 2 outside of the machine to be set up by the guitar tech. So this really is the most extreme setup a customer can get, because it really dials in the feel they're looking for based on string gauge, tuning, tension, really what they want their guitar to feel like. They give us all those custom specs through their sales engineer conversation.
So is this actually working on the frets?
It is. It is grinding the frets now. There's a grinding wheel there. You can see it's actually leveling the frets and crowning the frets all at once. So we don't have to do a whole lot of post work as it comes out. So all we got to do is sand the frets, polish them up, and then run it through our setup.
This all used to be done with a stone.
By hand,
By hand, yeah, I remember doing it.
Yeah.
So
by hand, elbows or shoulders will start to wear out, and it takes 2 hours to do it by hand. This will do it in about 45 minutes. Plus, our techs then can move into something else while these machines are going. So we've got 3 of them moving through now. This over here is going through a cutting process as well. And this one just got done scanning. So as we get the output of those scans done, we'll be able to make some adjustments in the computer system that will then will tell the machine, hey, take this much off this fret, so that as the neck is tensioned correctly and relieved correctly, it gives us near perfect playability.
So what's the criteria for a guitar getting into this stage? This is somebody that's had it asked to be done, or it didn't meet a certain criteria? What?
Yeah, so we count this as an add-on service. So if somebody wants to buy a new guitar, like out of the guitar gallery, they've seen the photos, it's been inspected, they see the photos on the website, I want that guitar. Now I want it to be custom set up to my specs as the player.
I see.
I'm going to buy the set of strings. I'm going to have it restrung with my strings, maybe 9s to 10s on a Strat, or I want 13s tuned down. All those things play into how we set up that guitar.
Okay, great.
This then just dials in the fretwork based on what kind of custom specs they want through the setup. So, like I said, this is the top-notch setup process.
Yeah, I was looking at this. This is a beautiful Paul Reed Smith here.
Yes.
Hand signed on the back. Yeah, I was thinking this is, okay.
Yeah, it's not to fix anything. It's really just to dial that guitar in further for the customer's needs. So
Perfect.
Yeah. So we'll step back out here and we'll walk through. Sorry. So we'll take a loop down here. This is our luthier area. And our luthiers are the highest trained group of individuals we have on our team that really are a part of our training process. So this is Julie. She's one of our luthiers. Looks like she's got a
Hi, Julie. How are you?
Gibson Les Paul custom on her bench.
Marvelous.
She's got the fretboard off. Julie, can you give us a quick rundown of what you're working on inside your booth on this Les Paul?
This Les Paul, the guy wanted carbon fiber rods installed in his neck. He also wants his inlays replaced. He wants lumen lace side dots, so I had to take the fretboard off. And he's also getting an Evertune installed on it, so it's getting everything.
Yowza. What year is it?
It's an 81.
It's an 81.
So an 81. So we'll have our customer base. More than likely, our customers in the repair side have been guitar customers ours. So they'll buy a new guitar from Sweetwater. They'll get some modification done through our install process. They'll receive it, love it, and say, hey, I've got a collection of guitars I now want to send you. Because I love the feel and the work you did on my brand new guitar I bought from Sweetwater.
Right.
And we've got a team of luthiers like Julie here that can do this type of work. Totally work down a guitar, deconstruct it if we need to, whether it be a repair or modification like this one's a modification. Nothing wrong with it. They just want it to be customized, again, to their spec.
A carbon fiber truss rod inside of it.
Well, not truss rod. They're really just they just stiffen the neck, so the truss rod is still be functional. But,
So how do you do that? How do you put the carbon fiber in there?
I just route a channel and put them in.
Right.
The magic, she's talking about all the work that goes in. She's calculated the way it needs to be routed in, the depth, the width, where the rods go along the truss rod. And in this role, like what Julie's talking about, it takes several years to learn what this is, because it's a lot of troubleshooting, woodworking, guitar playing. You got to understand, the whole premise of what.
Because I've never heard of it. I mean, I'm a guitar player, but I've actually never heard of this before.
Yeah.
Presumably, is it something people concerned about with older guitars? The neck is gonna.
This guy, I think, is just.
Perfectionist.
Yeah, he wanted to recarve the neck at some point, and he was concerned about the neck maybe shifting around. I don't think it's super necessary, but that's what he wanted, so we're going to do it.
Excellent.
Great example of the level of work we get into, not just on new guitars, but I would 1981 and older. We'll see every single day through this team, whether it be a refret or, like I said, a bridge reglue, bracing repair in acoustics, or top repairs in acoustics. Really, this team has all the skill in the world to bring guitars back to life. That's what
Marvelous.
So,
Great. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks, Julie.
So we'll now loop this way and go to our install team, which is where we do a bulk of our modifications on new guitars. What you saw in Julie's booth is an example of what some of these restorations can turn into and the complexity that they can do. So So right here, hanging on our wall, we've got our inventory of guitars that are getting ready to be modified in some way. So these have been purchased by the customer because the photos that were taken out in the guitar gallery, they've selected it by weight, by photo, whatever they want. So they've already customized their selection of the guitar. Now they want something else done to it. Again, like just a custom spec setup, meaning on my Strat, I want 13s, 2.5 step down. That's what we'll do here. Obviously, the geometry involved in making sure all of that works is super important, again, to make sure the customer gets what they've paid for. And the idea here is also, if we can do it all at once while the customers purchase the guitar before we ship it, they don't have to be without their brand new guitar once they get it into their hands and taken down the road to their local tech. We can just get it all done here. And it helps the whole customer unboxing experience. If they take this SG out of the case and it is stock, maybe stock is not what they like and what they are norm and plain. They want to make it theirs. So if we can make it theirs here at Sweetwater before we ship it to them, they can take it right out of the case and go right into the studio, go right into a live gig, and play it right away because of what they've requested us to set up or customize for them. So
that's amazing. I didn't know about any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're customizing around 120 to 130 guitars per day on this team. With the 59 techs we have, all of different backgrounds and skill sets, we're modifying a large portion of a guitar.
What's like the plecking? What does that average out price wise?
The pleck jobs are $299.
Yeah.
It's, like I said, about 3 hours of work. It'll go through that process we just saw, plus a setup with strings included. So they can select the strings they want, and we'll set it up and making sure those strings are on, and it's great right out of the box again. So $300 service, a standard setup service is either $100 or $130 depending on what service you go with. We can do pickup swaps as well. Say a customer wants a specific pickup, or they're used to a certain pickup. We'll swap pickups for them. We'll upgrade nuts. We'll put locking tuners on.
Incredible.
We'll satinize necks if they don't like the gloss of a back of a nitro neck. We'll satinize that.
Evertunes.
Evertune installs. We'll route bodies. We'll put Evertunes in. Floyd Roses on Strats. We'll do all that stuff. So really anything you could just hot rod a guitar in, we've got a service and our team here ready to go doing all those types of mods. So
that's wonderful.
This is waiting to be done. I'll show you some stuff in process that they're working on. We'll head this way and see what Patrick is working on. He's working on a PRS SE single cut, and he's installing a new nut. So the customer has requested we install a bone nut on this guitar. So he is taking the old nut out, putting the new nut in.
What was the old nut that was on it?
The old nut, I believe the material is one of the PRS proprietary blends that they have. And again, great guitars is not necessarily considered an upgrade. It's just what the customer wants. Yeah, it's a personal preference. Hey, I have bone on all my other guitars. I like the way it sounds and feels and plays. I want to put bone on my brand new guitar. So, and one thing we also sell in this is not only just the types of modifications we can do, but it's the speed and pace at which we can get it done.
Can you do all of this from the site? Do you have to make a phone call?
This is all handled from our sales engineers.
Oh,
so
right.
Sales engineer sells the guitar.
Right.
Sales engineer then can say, hey, how would you like that guitar customized? Would you like that guitar customized? Do you want it to be stock? And we have several customers say, no, I like the stock feel. But there are several of our customers, a large percentage will say, no, I've got something specific that I want on my guitar. The sales engineer walks through that conversation with that customer and says, hey, we've got a guitar shop that can do all these modifications before we even ship it. So you've selected the guitar again by photo. Now you can go through and say, hey, I want all these modifications, hundreds or thousands of dollars worth of modifications. We can get it done in a few days, get it shipped to you, and you have a fully customized guitar in your hands within a few days, ready to go, really ready to go to a gig, ready to go to the studio. You don't have to do anything to it. That's the idea, is the player can take it right out, turnkey system, they can play it right away and not have to worry about any extra work they would need to do once they get it in their hands. So what Patrick's doing here is installing several of these a day, well-skilled, well-versed. And we talk career path a lot, too. Many of my techs on my team have come from Frank's team in the guitar gallery. So we have a training, pretty in-depth training process. So it's like going to luthier school when you become an employee at Sweetwater. So we'll train you on all the steps you need to know and all the things you need to know to work your way through all the career steps at Sweetwater, all the way up to where Julie is as a luthier. So
Did Julie start here?
she did. She started here in installs, did setups, just turned out setups, 9 to 10 setups a day for several months, actually 2 years, and then she's worked her way up through the process to be a luthier and taken fretboards off 1981 Les Pauls.
Yeah, putting carbon fiber in them.
That's right. Yeah. So moving this way, the last step is where we do all of our custom setups. So like what you've seen in the Plek, what you saw Patrick doing with the nut upgrades, these are the setup specialists. These are the highly skilled, dial it into the very tweaky customer spec and make it theirs, really. So this is the team that's cranking through, 8, 9, 10 custom setups a day. So Jake's one of our leads here in installs.
Hey, Jake, I'm Warren.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
He's got an LTD Deluxe here. Jake, give us a quick rundown of what the customer has requested be done on this guitar.
Well, so this one's actually a rework.
Okay.
So this is a different project.
Okay.
I'm just checking it over, making sure that everything is up to our spec. He had a few issues with it, so I'm probably just going to set it up again. It looks like it moved a little bit with humidity.
Awesome. Good deal.
Try to get it playing really well and back out the door.
And a lot of these guitars, like I said, come stock with string gauges the customer may not be used to, on a Les Paul or something of that style, a set of 10s, but we may have customers that want to tune way down or, have a different feel, have a different slinky type of feel to it. So, we'll work all the way down. Matt's working here on a Epiphone archtop semi-hollow. Matt, what's the idea and the customer want done on this one?
Let's see. I think the customer just kind of went with the general setup, just kind of as low as we can go without any real buzz. Little neck relief, low action. Kind of just let luthier's discretion. So sometimes I just kind of leave it up to us. Just do what you think best.
Yeah.
Great. Low with no buzz is typically the way to go.
So this customer wants a set of D'Addario 10s installed. They may have their whole collection dialed in with the D'Addario 10s. Again, it's a familiar feel. That's our goal here. We want to make sure our customers have a very familiar feel right out of the case or the gig bag.
Great.
So they, again, can take it where they want to go, and whether it be in their kitchen or living room or bedroom or up on stage or in the studio, we want to make sure it's comfortable, and that whole customer experience is something that's the number one thing we work into. So.
And you get to have fun with 12 strings by the looks of it as well.
12 strings, anything and all, we'll see, come through.
A little bit of a hassle on those, but boy, they sound cool when you're done. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good luck with the 12 string.
This is Tustin.
Hey, Tustin.
One of our techs dialing in this nut on this Schecter bass. And looks like the customer went with a set of Roto Sound 45 strings in the setup. So,
I haven't seen Roto Sound for years. Of course, I grew up with Roto Sounds.
They're actually pretty nice. They have a really good tone. I really enjoy them. Just making sure that the mislets sit properly.
Does Super Wound still exist? It used to be Roto Sound and Super Wound.
I don't know.
I don't know if they still have those or not.
Yeah. Because I was always surprised because there was JHS strings as well, John Hornby skews, and now of course there's JHS pedals. For a second I thought it was the same company.
Yeah, I can see that.
Two music companies.
Yeah, right. Josh Scott's pedals. Yeah. That's pretty funny. Yeah, so it's pretty cool to see the work that this team puts into. They're definitely masters at their craft. To see how they work, and really, again, dialing these guitars in, these basses in.
Is that a silicone?
Customer spec.
No, it's a glue sealant.
It's an accelerator.
It's an accelerant.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So he's again modifying, really refining that nut slot. Any contact point on any guitar or string is important. So
You'll get a nut every now and then that's a little lower than it should be. So I'm just fixing it, making sure that it plays the best that it possibly can for the customer.
Yep. Sean back here looks like he's setting up a Telecaster for a customer. Sean, what customer specs are you working through?
Low with little buzz.
Low with little buzz.
Right.
A very popular request.
It is.
Low with little buzz.
Probably what I would ask for.
Yeah. I would say 90% of our customers just give us the very generic low with little buzz. They want it to play as easily as possible, which is where our Plek process comes in too, because we can hopefully remove a lot of those peaks in the fretwork.
I think the only thing I would say though is because I grew up on Jeff Beck's at like two-tone bends. I'd be like low, little buzz, but still actually compare the strings.
Enough that it doesn't fret out.
Doesn't fret out, yeah.
Luckily, it's not a 7 1/4; it's a 9.5 inch scale, or a radius. Sorry.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't have a problem.
How far do you test for on a bend that it doesn't choke?
Common one I like to go is a 1.5 steps. Right. So if it goes a note and a half, basically.
Right.
That's where I like to go.
Right. So you play Hotel California? Oh, what a wow.
Yeah. So that concludes our guitar shop tour.
Oh, no problem.
Thanks.
All three of our teams you've seen installs where we do custom specs and modifications through setups here. These are the setup experts from Plek, refining fretwork, making sure that's dialed in for the customer all the way to what Julie was doing in the luthier world and repair and restoration. So
excellent. Wade, thanks very much.
Yep. Nice to meet you.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you too.
Absolutely.
That's great.